Immense gratitude for your loyalty as we set sail for tonight's 6:15 p.m. edition of the news on Canal International. As always, we're coming to you live from our studios in central Douala. The headlines up next with Kejang Henry Atembe.
Government reviews security measures in Douala following the seismic repercussions caused by urban gangster Lemicro. Interior Minister Paul Atanganji jettisoned to Douala to appraise the situation. And the Église évangélique du Cameroon goes bankrupt after delinquent debtors, a majority of them pastors and Christians, pilfer the bank coffers. The suspects have been dragged to court as part of a forceful recovery drive. The 6:15 news rolls on in a jiffy with anchorman Ntarike Divine, Ramsey Jr.
And as you heard up there, the recent re-emergence in Douala of marauding droves of panic-stirring urban gangsters nicknamed Lemicro has continued to constitute a major talking point out here over the past couple of days. On the sidelines, concerns over security on the eve of the festive season have remained sky high, a factor that probably motivated the walking visit to Douala this Tuesday by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji. D. Maureen reports.
Insecurity remains a disturbing challenge in Cameroon's economic city, especially during this end-of-year festivities. The growing concern that adds to the constant panic by a group of urban gangsters called Lemicro has provoked an outing of Territorial Administration boss to Douala. Paul Atanganji is coming after Littoral Governor took measures to tighten security in his region. Today's meeting held behind closed doors.
Minister Atanganji came to Douala to evaluate the level of the execution of our security measures that we have taken concerning the insecurity in this town. And we all agree that the term of microbe is not appropriate for this city. But nobody said that I caught this microbe. And but we have just taken this opportunity to strengthen our security measures.
As from January 2023, bike riders will have to comply to new measures of registering and immatriculating their motorcycles before engaging in buying from importers.
From the 1st of January, we are going to ask all those who are selling motorbicycle to sell a motorbicycle after making immatriculations, after registrations. So you have to be identified before buying a motorbicycle.
The new measures imposed on motorcycles, according to union leaders, will help in establishing a database for proper identification of motorcycles in the city of Douala. The stringent security measures are intended to enforce order during this festive season.
Now, for several months, clients with a microfinance institution operated under the canopy of the Evangelical Church of Cameroon have been ranting and raving in vain. In fact, they are unable to regain possession of their money saved with the structure. And our findings indicate that managers of the institution, including some men and women of God, are to blame. Gladys Ambo, up next, recounts how mismanagement crept into the divine structure. Here's her account.
There are hundreds of them, clients of the microfinance institution of the Evangelical Church of Cameroon, who are currently in distress. For the past several months, they have been unable to withdraw their savings. From the creation of Camed Microfinance, savings and withdrawals were easy, but since last year, we have been in difficulties. We are unable to withdraw our money. We are told there is no money. The coffers of the financial establishment is said to be facing intense treasury tensions. Some managers are said to have embezzled the funds, most of whom have been dragged to court. The church, however, has no mercy. How can someone embezzle church funds and expect they will go scot-free? We, however, don't want them to go to jail. The church demands that they should accept to pay back the money, even in installments. The accused are said to be pastors and members of the church, some of whom are alleged to have started paying back their debts. The Deputy General Manager of the Microfinance Institution told us they are in the process of financial restructuring.
Now, in parts of the Bakassi Peninsula, the protracted absence of basic amenities, including schools, healthcare services, telecoms, as well as electricity supply installations, is rendering life for inhabitants almost unlivable. And with the new year just around the corner, inhabitants are urging the government to fast-track development projects as a means of enhancing their well-being. Here's Ines Ondoambala from the Bakassi Peninsula.
Idiabato Council in the Bakassi Peninsula is fast becoming an Eldorado in this maritime area of Ndian Division of the Southwest region of Cameroon. During the year 2022, the team led by Mayor Itongo Ifange carried out some developmental projects to improve on the well-being of the population of Idiabato, whose mainstay is fishing and petty trade. Amongst the council achievement in 2022 is the constructions of the embankment, access roads in Idiabato 2, Jabane Shore Creek, Atabong Extension, New Town, and the realization of the bridge in Shore Creek, the construction of guest house, toilets, council chambers, and the execution of many other infrastructures. In 2023, the Idiabato Council is resolved in boosting the economic growth in this maritime locality, and so, to meet up with expectation, Mayor Itongo went seeking for partnership at the international level.
I want to give a special thanks to the Minister of Minefe who gave us authorization in order to seek for partnership in Canada. The Idiabato Council has so many challenges, especially erosion, always wash away our houses. The population are suffering. That is why we are here in Canada to seek for partnership in order to bring development in our municipality.
With the sum of 650 million francs CFA, Idiabato Council in 2023 will continue striving for development in this area where Cameroonians and Nigerians are living peacefully. This will only be achieved if councillors and mayor work as a team, as recommended by the Divisional Officer of Idiabato, Roland Ewan.
Now, as the countdown fast narrows to Christmas, thousands of people are on the move, crisscrossing the country for family reunions as well as multi-form celebrations. And as passengers scramble for bus seats at the various travel agencies, interurban transporters said they are increasing measures to protect the lives of their passengers. Stephanie Chin paints the picture in Douala.
Few days to end-of-year festivities, travel agencies are crowded with passengers who are either leaving Douala for other towns and villages or some who have just arrived Douala to celebrate with loved ones. To ensure their personal security, passengers have their seat belts on as they take off for their respective destinations. I am seated with my seatbelt on. On their part, the managements of organized travel agencies are doing everything to ensure the safety of passengers. One of the moves is for the drivers to respect speed limit, avoid overloading, and the scrupulous respect of the highway code. The speed limit authorizes 80 kilometers per hour. Some buses like that of Alassane have surveillance cameras installed in order to monitor the driver's activities and any form of misconduct. Following up drivers with installed surveillance cameras in the bus isn't just for us to watch their activities, but is equally to call them to order in cases of excesses or lack. Agencies like this one have provided rest areas for their drivers. Thierry drove all night and is resting now. He will only resume work later on. After 4 hours of driving, rest is imposed on drivers. I arrived Douala this morning, and since then I've been resting. We carry out recycling of drivers 1 hour before takeoff. Each driver is called upon to do a psychotechnical rehabilitation to ensure the branch manager that he's hitting the road. We equally carry out alcohol tests put at our disposal by the Ministry of Transport. All these safety measures have been implemented recently in order to limit cases of road accidents.
And in the lead up to the commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ, traffic circulation is witnessing a sharp uptick on the streets of the country's major urban settlements. In Yaoundé, the capital, Hyacinth Chia up next says there's been a heavy deployment of the police to ensure that amidst the hustle and the bustle, order prevails. Here's his report.
The city dwellers here refer to him as a lion in traffic management. The vibrant police officer here at Devangbe Road Junction in Yaoundé, constantly at work to reduce the massive hold-up plaguing the city at the eve of Christmas celebrations. And a few meters away, we are at the Coron roundabout, where the always present Pointinini is leaving no stone unturned to ensure the free circulation of vehicles. The passionate efforts of the road control agents highly saluted by the population. The forces of law and order are doing a great job. Since the start of December, they have been working tirelessly. It is thanks to this police officer that we are able to drive across here. Vongbi is always affected, but he is handling the situation very well. And there has been a remarkable deployment at all strategic areas of the town of Seven Hills. These reassuring free movement and security of citizens before and during the end of year feast.
Implementation of police around the town, around everywhere, is a good thing for the feast who are coming very soon. So I used to congratulate all police officers.
But the uncivic attitudes of some drivers continue causing long-standing traffic in major streets.
Meanwhile, as the countdown continues to narrow, some parents are scratching their heads, others are biting off their fingernails in contemplation of what their kids will wear on Christmas Day. In the capital, Yaoundé, Hyacinth Chia has been combing a couple of markets and says assorted designs are on offer, and all it takes is the right amount of money.
The markets are boiling. The atmosphere, a very busy one, here at the Mokolo market in Yaoundé, this Tuesday, December 20th. Parents on the last-minute rush to get Christmas dresses for their children. The choices of what to get vary from person to person.
J'adore la boutique et c'était adore la friperie, mais beaucoup plus adore la friperie parce qu'ils disent que ce sont des pièces rares, bon, c'est unique quoi.
Bon, en fait, je prends la friperie parce que non seulement c'est durable et c'est du bon. Je ne trouve pas ça en truc occasionnel.
The quality of the clothes they buy is equally influenced by their financial strength. Many are quite frustrated with the prices of the different items.
Le prix n'est pas du tout facile parce que à la friperie on rencontre des trucs plus chers encore que la boutique.
While some are vying for ready-made dresses, others are battling it out with tailors and fashion designers to make sure they deliver before the D-Day, December 25th.
Now, for several years, they've lived together like husbands and wives, despite the absence of any legal or religious backing. But thanks to counseling by their pastors at the Nkozoa Église Évangélique du Cameroun in Yaoundé, they have decided to formalize their relationships by getting to the altar and saying yes. Here is Beatrice Ngamo with a collective marriage story.
The entry show with its own ambience. First the groom is led into the church and then the bride. A day of joy spiced with dancing ushers. Couples beautifully clad in their white gowns and blue-black suits for the brides and grooms respectively. The pastor appealed on Christians to place God at the center of their lives, reminding the newlyweds to be connected with God through spiritual link to be able to enjoy his grace, favor, and blessings. God should remain their father, drawing inspiration from Revelation chapter 12, verse 1 to 12. Salvation of humanity through Jesus Christ, his birth for us. Difficult, challenging mission, not different from marriage. Before man and before God, they sealed their vows of love, care, tolerance, till physical separation on earth. Covering them with the precious blood of Jesus, the pastor blessed and delivered them. This collective marriage is an arm used by the church to encourage their Christians to legalize status before God. Prayer is that the engagement taken by the youth this day motivate others to take same and benefit from all that makes happy, prosperous marriage before and in the name of God. After that, with the family, traditional, the state signing, the touch of God should crown all. For once God blesses a home, the couple receives the benediction from the three essential structures of society: family, government, and God at summit. This is the 5th edition of the church collective marriage at Nkozoa, and it has come to stay.
Now, the 74th edition of the Elok Mpo, that's the annual celebration of the culture and traditions of natives of the coastal Sanaga Maritime Division, held at the weekend in Idea. The December 18 event was graced by the presence of an august guest, the 2022 winner of the Miss Cameroon pageant, Stephanie Chin.
On the occasion of the festivities marking the closing of the 74th edition of the Elok Mpo Festival, held on December 18, 2022, Marie Princess Dun Isi, Miss Cameroon 2023, communes with her parents, brothers and sisters of the Sanaga Maritime Division from where she hails. Before the national, regional, and local administrative authorities, the elites of the Sanaga Maritime and the Elok Mpo community, the beauty queen presented her crown obtained on November 16, 2022, at the end of the 16th edition of the Miss Cameroon 2023 National Contest. After a tour to view presentations carried out on the site of the festivities, Marie Princess Dun Isi, accompanied by Jeannette Songwe, has sponsor of Miss Cameroon of the Sanaga Maritime within the framework of the Elok Mpo, received in return the honors of her community. She also received an envelope of 2 million francs from the association. In the same order, the senior divisional officer of the Sanaga Maritime Division has arranged for the beauty queen a plot of land on a surface area of 500 meters square. As for Emmanuel Len, the mayor of Idea, he granted a communal housing estate to Miss Cameroon, an occasion which took place under the watchful eyes of Jean-Ernest Massenan Gale-Bibe, elite of Sanaga Maritime, Minister of Transport, and Lidine Gale-Bibe, honorary president for the littoral region of Miss Cameroon 2023.
And on our sports page, the 2022 World Cup champions Argentina arrived home to a hilarious welcome in Buenos Aires in the early hours of this Tuesday, with jubilant crowds cheering Lionel Messi and his teammates as they paraded the streets with their trophy harvests. More fans are pouring out into the streets even as we speak. The streets of the capital for the celebration of the Albi Celeste victory against France at the final match of the Qatar tourney last Sunday. Today has been declared a national holiday across Argentina. There's more news lined up for you, of course, in French when Alain Ghislain Kanga comes up at exactly 1950. But before then, Kejang Henry and his panelists delve into an examination of the safety of Cameroon's highways at this festive period. And that's where we replace the lid on this edition of the news. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.